and what I'm about to bring to you is about the United Kingdom. Remember sometime last month, in the month of September, I spoke to you about the nomination of Liz Truss as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom as something that was divinely planned. It was a transfer of mantle from the Queen Elizabeth to her. And I told you she was going to face difficulties as she got into office, but the Lord gave counsel that let the royal family back her and for the citizens to be united and stand together with her for Britain to rise again. The Lord had been preparing someone over the years, another leader who would take over from the Queen and lead this nation towards its future. Her Excellency Elizabeth Truss, the current Prime Minister of the UK, has the governing mantle of the Queen upon her. With her, the Lord is going to keep the nation moving and waxing strong. But the Lord told me she will face many difficulties during her period of service because she's coming in at a moment where crises have already piled up, waiting to unfold one after the other. The royal family should work hand in hand with Elizabeth Truss and be open to the ideas and strategies she provides for the crisis this nation will face. If she is backed by the royal family and the nation remains united and in harmony, the United Kingdom shall grow stronger and shall prosper. But that's not what was done, and she has decided to resign. This is the message I bring to the United Kingdom. She not being there because she desires power, but instead as someone who wants to serve, decided to resign. The greatest characteristic of a true leader is having a heart of service towards a people you love, cherish, and respect. This Liz Truss has. But I can tell you, those who may take over from her will not have the same objectives and will lead the UK into more trouble than she has gotten herself into already. Put in other leaders and you will face the consequences. They might find quick solutions, but which shall not last over the years to come. Lose Liz Truss as Prime Minister and find yourselves in greater crisis than these. You lose Liz Truss as Prime Minister and you shall find yourself in greater crisis than these. The other leaders voted in will not be able to stand up to the task. They may provide temporal solutions for a particular time, but as time goes on, you shall see the deficiency of these solutions, and that shall lead the UK into more trouble than these.
Truss's 49-day government. But then are you surprised? Under Sunak, the UK has become a third world country. A third world country is one that is economically weaker. It is a country battling economic instability, high poverty. A third world country is one that lacks basic infrastructure, basic necessities. And Britain seems to be checking all the boxes. Today, there is a shortage of essential drugs in the UK. Doctors are worried. Pharmacists are worried. Patients are petrified. Now, these are essential drugs we are talking about. Drugs for ADHD, drugs for type 2 diabetes, epilepsy. Pharmacists say lives are at risk. And that is how serious this problem is. It's not hard to imagine. For a diabetes patient, her drug is a lifesaver. And without them, anything can happen anytime. In the UK, diabetes patients are being turned away at pharmacies because there is no stock. Same with epilepsy patients. Let me read out for you what the head of an epilepsy society told the British media. Our helpline has been inundated with calls from desperate people who are having to travel miles, often visiting multiple pharmacies, to try and access their medication. This is the UK we are talking about, not Sudan, not Venezuela. This is the UK battling third world problems. We spoke about basic infra. In the UK, roads are not even at break point, but well past it. As per estimates quoted in the British press, there are 6 potholes per mile in England and Wales. Further, estimates say there are over 1 million potholes in the UK. Such is the situation that Britain's Royal Automobile Club has been forced to come up with a pothole index. You don't need me to tell you that potholes increase the risk of accidents and deaths on the road. And the risk, by the way, does not end here. Today, even Britain's prisons are overcrowded. Cells meant for a single prisoner now house 2, sometimes even 3 inmates. Britain's prison system has not been upgraded since the Victorian era. The infra is over a century old. Data published in 2023 revealing that the number of deaths on the prison estate is up 9% as compared to the year before. The number of suicides is up 26%. Self-harm in the women's prison is up 52%. Inspectors have rated most British prisons as poor or inadequate. Again, this is not Venezuela. It is still Rishi Sunak's UK we are talking about. Why don't you do a quick online search here? Look up the United Kingdom. you will be met with one bad news after the other. The UK is expected to be the worst performing G7 economy next year. We're not the ones saying that. OECD is, that is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The Paris-based think tank believes that the UK will grow by just 0.4% this year. In 2025, the UK is expected to grow by up just 1%. Government policies are not helping. Economists say the UK's economy could be staring at a long-term irrelevance without immigration. A leading think tank claiming the next government in the UK will be forced to hit voters with post-election tax rises. There is a housing crisis in the UK. In Oxford, house prices are 12 times the average salary. Over 3,000 households are on the waiting list for homes. Reports say there is also an electricity problem in the UK. There is a shortage of electricity networks in the UK. Banks are closing branches in the UK. As per estimates, 6,000 bank branches have been closed since 2015. This includes branches of Barclays, NatWest, the Royal Bank of Scotland. TSB will reportedly be closing 36 branches over the next 18 months. The Thames, which is an emblem of London, is facing a crisis as well. Shareholders of Thames Water are refusing to invest. This, by the way, is the company responsible for water supply and wastewater treatment in most of Greater London area. Now, is this a failure of privatization, or is the story the poster boy of the bigger picture of failure here? Today, British women are sadder than their European peers. British women are also more stressed. They are battling negative emotions more than their European counterparts. I'm talking about worry, stress, anger. Still, the UK we are talking about here. The UK under which Rishi Sunak appears to have become a third world country.
When prophetic counsel isn't considered, the nations bleed.